Hello, this is Eileen, the environmental educator, and it's Friday, so we know what that means. It is a Friday funny, and we have two New Yorkers right here because this Friday funny is about New York, with all the talk about climate change and global warming and sea level rise because of it, and we're losing land because of it. Well, maybe another factor in the equation is that we are simply too heavy for the land that we sit on. So right here, this is a May 19th, 2023 article. New York City is sinking under the weight of its buildings. And this is a 23rd article. Again, due to its million plus buildings, it is sinking. And right here, under the weight of its skyscrapers, this is the Smithsonian. So that's May 23rd. Right now, it's May 25th at about 8 o'clock at night. And right here, Mountain New York City is sinking due to the weight of its skyscrapers. Right there, there's a picture of the Big Apple. This is just lower Manhattan, and upper right here is where there's really a lot of skyscrapers. But these things weigh a lot, and the city is sinking approximately 1 to 2 millimeters each year on average. And so you're like, oh, hey, how much is a millimeter? Well, 25.4 millimeters is equal to 1 inch. So there you go. And right here, Manhattan, it's a borough in New York. Right here, it's an island. Here's a picture of it at sunset. And right down here, it says that it is 1.3 miles long and 2.3 miles wide. That is very small, but it is one of the most densely populated locations in the world with a 2020 census of 1.694 million people living in 22.83 square miles or 918 residents per square mile, higher than the density of any individual U.S. city. And then the commuters, the influx of commuters increases this number to over 3.9 million people in Manhattan on business days. So that's more than 170,000 people per square mile. So yeah, in Manhattan, well, obviously everybody knows New York, New York, and Manhattan, and it is everything it's cracked up to be. And there's a picture of the city right there. But right here you can see the island. It's definitely a lot more water here. The water gets a little thinner here, but that is the island. So 13 miles long, 2.3 miles wide. And there's the Statue of Liberty right out there in the waters, right outside of Manhattan. But right here it says that icebergs are often compared in size to the area of Manhattan. So yeah, I mean it is pretty small. I lived in Vail for a decade, and Vail is 10 miles long, and at its widest point, a half a mile. So this is just 3 miles longer than Vail, and then maybe 2 miles wider. And Vale is a very small community with, a few thousand people. I'm sure the population's gone up, maybe maximum 7, 10,000 year-round residents now. I'm not sure, but yeah, this is not much bigger than the very small town of Vale. And yet, the weight of its buildings is so nearly 1.7 trillion pounds, and it's forcing the ground down. Now, um, it's called subsidence, and it's or the gradual caving in or sinking of an area of land. And yeah, geologists found that Manhattan is sinking by 1 to 2 millimeters annually. So, right here it says that the cumulative mass of the 1 million 84,954 buildings within the 5 boroughs was found to be about 1.68 trillion pounds. The average building mass is 1.5 million pounds. And it says here that the estimates only included the buildings and their contents, not the sidewalks, the subways, and the bridges. Okay, that can also mean not the people, not the cars, not the furniture, not everything that's in every place. So yeah, Manhattan and New York City in general weigh a lot. So it says here the study team used simulations to calculate the effects of that weight on the ground, comparing that with satellite data showing actual surface geology. And then the analysis said the city is sinking by 1 to 2 millimeters a year, with some areas that are sinking about 4.5 millimeters a year. And that's according to, it says Parsons, who right here is the lead study author, Tom Parsons, a research geophysicist at the United States Geological Survey. And right here, here's another look at where you're getting into Midtown here. So, yeah, these buildings, they're big. And this Smithsonian article says, some of this sinking is natural, such as residual effects of land settling after the last ice age, and some is called by people withdrawing groundwater, but the immense weight of Big Apple's buildings is also playing a role. Yeah, according to the study. And it says that New York City isn't the only coastal urban area that's sinking. So this article says that these 1.84954 buildings weigh 1.68 trillion pounds, and the researchers estimated that's almost the double the weight of all humanity combined. So yeah, at first when I was like, okay, well it doesn't include cars and furniture and people. I'm like, how much can the people weigh? Well, I guess they are part of the weight of Manhattan and New York City, but when this is double the weight of all of humanity, the humans aren't the biggest problem there, even though it is very densely populated. It says to predict the amount of sinking due to the tremendous load, the team modeled the buildings and the various types of land beneath them. They found that depending on the underlying types of soil, bedrock, and other factors, buildings have the potential to sink as much as 600 millimeters or almost 2 feet. So they say it's not something to panic about immediately, but then all of these, of course, talk about right here human caused global warming, and so the risks of flooding. All of these articles are loaded with it's all due to global warming, but that's right. Who won't allow solutions? Oh, that's right. Everybody that pretends to care that cities like New York are going to get flooded due to the fact that ocean levels are rising. But, part of the factor is we're just too heavy for the land that we sit on, or at least the cities are. And so right now we're just going to laugh a little bit, and we're including this man here because for all that he is accused of, they can also accuse him of contributing to the weight of New York. Here is some pictures. This is Google image, and here is one of his most prominent buildings, the Trump Tower in New York City. So that building for sure weighs some money. It weighs some pounds, and that definitely is one of the big buildings in New York City that is contributing to the weight of the buildings being so immense that it is contributing to the sinking of the city. So we're just going to chuckle, people. Have a good holiday weekend. and stay tuned.